Hi, Steve Clifford from Sheehy Toyota of Fredericksburg and Stafford, Virginia, also of Laurel, Maryland. Today, I'm going to address something that I've talked about before, but I want to get into it in a little bit more detail today. And that is why your next car should be a hybrid. There are a lot of things that people think about hybrids that aren't true, and I'm going to talk about some things that are true. So, beyond gas mileage, and the gas mileage difference is big, but honestly, a lot of manufacturers are getting better at designing cars with engines that have a lot better fuel economy. But there's more to it than just fuel economy. Long-term expenses are going to be a lot better on a hybrid. And the reason is there's no serpentine belt here. There's no starter. There's no alternator. This is a hybrid vehicle. You don't need that stuff. You don't need any of that. So your long-term maintenance expenses are going to be very, very low. The other thing, the brakes on this car are going to last somewhere in excess of 150,000 miles. How is that possible? Well, it's possible through what's called regenerative braking. Every time you step on the brake pedal, what you're feeling is one of the electric motors slowing the car down. The brake pads don't even grab the rotors unless it's an emergency stop, a panic stop, or at very, very low speeds, then it grabs. And that's why your brakes last essentially forever. Now, let's talk about the transmission. The transmission on these is a CVT, but the type of CVT that it is not the type that you've heard about that is so problematic with some other manufacturers. This CVT, it works weird. It's basically electric motors hooked up to the planetary gears. There's nothing engaging and disengaging. There's nothing to wear out. There's nothing to break. They are so ridiculously long-term reliable. I talked to the shop foreman at our Fredericksburg store and I asked him if we'd ever replaced the transmission on a Toyota hybrid. At first he said no, and then he's like, no, hang on, wait. And then he went back and he checked. You know how many they've done at Fredericksburg Toyota? 2. In 24 years, they've done 2 transmissions on Toyota hybrid vehicles. That's some serious long-term reliability. Now, what about some myths? There are some real myths about hybrids that drive me a little bit nuts. Number one, you don't have to plug this thing in. There's no infrastructure required. You don't have to plug it into anything. Also, batteries. These batteries are not like a battery electric vehicle. Battery electric vehicles, people are starting to realize that battery life on them is not that great. Some people are saying 5 years, 100,000 miles, and they're pretty much done. I don't know if that's the case or not, but it's definitely not the case with a hybrid battery. Hybrid batteries are designed to take charges over and over and over again. And the way that they do it, the batteries last a very long time. The warranty on these things is 10 years or 150,000 miles. Now, at the end of the warranty, is the battery done? No, it is not. We see these things going 200, 250, 300,000, even more than that on the original battery. Here's the other thing. The battery costs. They're coming down, and it's never been what it is on a full battery electric vehicle anyway. Those batteries can be anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000. Battery packs on these things, depending on the year and a couple of other things, is going to be anywhere from about $3,000 to $5,000, maybe $6,000 on some of them. But the difference in cost is dramatically different. Now think about that. What is the cost of a new transmission on a modern car? It's between $3,000 and $6,000, isn't it? Well, you're not going to have to do the transmission on this, but you do risk the battery somewhere over 200,000 miles. That's not a bad trade-off, is it? Last thing I want to talk about is the environmental aspect of it. It takes roughly 500 pounds of rare earth elements to manufacture the battery for a battery electric vehicle. If you've seen how the mining goes, you know what that means for the environment. Now, the same 500 pounds of material that is needed to make one battery electric vehicle battery pack could also be used to make 90 hybrids for Toyota. That's not my number. That came from Toyota, the people who manufacture these things. So one battery or 90. I think it makes a lot more sense. And that is why your next vehicle should be a hybrid. Thank you for watching.